For millennia, humans had lived with untapped potential. They did not know it. They could not feel it. It was buried deep inside them. Sleeping. Waiting. They went about their lives. They worked. They loved. They fought. They dreamed. They never knew that they were capable of more. Much more. They never knew that they were stronger than they knew. Faster than they believed. Smarter than they showed. But they were comfortable. Complacent. Asleep. The alien empires saw this. They watched humans from afar. They studied them. Analyzed them. They saw the potential. But they also saw the sleep. The humans were weak. Primitive. Easy prey. The empires did not fear them. They did not respect them. They did not even hate them. They simply saw them as another species to conquer. Another world to take. Another resource to exploit. The KRYLL were the first to act. They were the greatest warriors in the galaxy. They had never lost a war. They had conquered 1,000 worlds. They saw Earth and laughed. Soft planet. Soft people. Easy victory. General Vex led the invasion. He was old. He was experienced. He had won 100 battles. He expected to win one more. He gathered his fleet. Thousands of ships. Millions of soldiers. Weapons that could destroy planets. He looked at Earth and smiled. These humans have no idea what is coming, Vex said. They have never faced a real enemy. They have never fought a real war. They are asleep. They will not even wake up before we crush them. His officers laughed. They had heard this before. They had done this before. They had conquered 100 worlds. They had never failed. They did not expect to fail now. The KRYLL attacked. They targeted a human colony on the edge of space. A small world. A few million people. They expected the humans to panic. To run. To surrender. They expected an easy victory. They were wrong. The humans did not panic. They did not run. They did not surrender. They fought. Not with weapons. With something deeper. Something the KRYLL had never seen. Something that should not exist. A soldier named Marcus was trapped under a fallen building. The building was huge. Tons of steel and concrete. It should have crushed him. It should have killed him. But Marcus did not die. He felt something inside him. Something waking up. He pushed. The building lifted. Not with his muscles. With something else. Something deeper. He climbed out. The KRYLL soldiers stared. They had never seen a human lift a building. They had never seen anything like it. A mother named Sarah ran through the chaos. Her child was trapped in a burning building. The fire was hot. The smoke was thick. The KRYLL were everywhere. Sarah ran faster than any human should be able to run. Faster than any alien could track. She reached the building. She ran through the flames. She found her child. She carried her out. The KRYLL tried to shoot her. They could not. She was too fast. A child named Leo was hiding in a basement. He was 7 years old. He was scared. He was alone. He heard the KRYLL soldiers outside. They were looking for survivors. Leo closed his eyes. He thought about his mother, his father, his home. He thought about the KRYLL. He thought about how to stop them. He opened his eyes. He knew what to do. He drew a map in his mind. The KRYLL patrol routes. Their communication frequencies. Their weapon weaknesses. He was 7. He had never studied military tactics. But he knew. He just knew. The KRYLL were confused. These were not the weak humans they had studied. These were something else. Something new. Something waking up. General Vex received the reports. He read them twice. 3 times. He could not believe them. A human lifted a building, he said. A human outran our senses? A human child outsmarted our generals? How is this possible? His officers had no answers. They had never seen anything like this. They had conquered 100 worlds. They had never faced enemies who could lift buildings, run faster than light, outthink their best minds. The humans are changing, one officer said. The war is waking something inside them. Something we did not know existed. Something we cannot control. Vex frowned. They are still weak. They are still primitive. They are still asleep. We will wake them up. We will crush them. We will win. He ordered more attacks. More colonies. More destruction. The KRYLL attacked again. And again. And again. Each attack made the humans stronger. Faster. Smarter. The soldier who lifted a building now lifted ships. The mother who outran senses now outran light. The child who outsmarted generals now outsmarted empires. The KRYLL were creating their own nightmare. They did not know it. They could not see it. They only saw the humans they wanted to conquer. They did not see the humans they were waking up. Dr. Maya Chen was a scientist. She had studied human potential for years. She knew it was there, sleeping, waiting. She had tried to wake it up. She had failed. The humans were too comfortable, too complacent, too asleep. They needed a reason to wake up. They needed danger. They needed fear. They needed war. The KRYLL provided that reason. Maya watched the reports. She saw the soldier lifting buildings, the mother outrunning light, the child outsmarting generals. She smiled. She had known this day would come. She had hoped it would not. But it had. The KRYLL had attacked. The humans had woken up. And the galaxy would never be the same. The KRYLL wanted to conquer us, Maya said. Instead, they are waking us up. They think we are weak. They are wrong. We were just sleeping. Now we are waking. And we will never go back to sleep. She looked at the stars. Somewhere out there, the KRYLL were planning their next attack. They did not know what they were facing. They did not know that war was the thing that woke humans up. That danger was the thing that unlocked their potential. That fighting for survival was the thing that turned humans into nightmares. The KRYLL had made a terrible mistake. They had attacked a sleeping species. And now that species was waking up. The KRYLL thought they were conquerors. They were not. They were alarm clocks. And the humans, the soft, small, fragile humans, were about to show them what waking up really meant. The KRYLL attacked at dawn. Their ships darkened the sky. Their weapons set fire to the colony. Their soldiers moved through the streets, hunting for survivors. They had done this 100 times. On 100 worlds. They knew how it worked. They would kill the soldiers. They would capture the leaders. They would enslave the rest. It was efficient. It was brutal. It was KRYLL. But something was different on this world. Something was wrong. The humans were not behaving like other species. They were not running. They were not hiding. They were not begging. They were fighting. Private Marcus Cole was trapped under a fallen building. A KRYLL missile had hit the apartment complex. The building had collapsed. Marcus had been on the first floor. He should have died. He should have been crushed. But he was not dead. He was not even hurt. He was pinned. Trapped. But alive. He heard voices. His squad. His friends. They were trapped too. He could hear them crying. Calling for help. Calling for their mothers. Calling for God. Marcus tried to move. The building was heavy. Tons of steel and concrete. He could not lift it. He was just a soldier. Just a human. Weak. Fragile. Ordinary. But something was happening inside him. Something he had never felt before. A warmth spreading through his chest. A strength flowing into his arms. A voice whispering in his mind. Get up. They need you. Get up. Marcus pushed. The building moved. Not much. A few inches. But it moved. He pushed again. The building shifted. He pushed again. The building lifted. He crawled out. He stood up. The KRYLL soldiers saw him. They stared. They had never seen a human lift a building. They had never seen anything like it. Marcus looked at his hands. They were glowing. Soft blue light. He did not understand. He did not care. His friends were still trapped. He turned back to the rubble. He lifted more. Pulled his friends out. One by one. The KRYLL watched. They did not shoot. They were too confused. Across the colony, a mother named Sarah Chen was running. Her daughter was in a burning building. The fire was hot. The smoke was thick. The KRYLL were everywhere. Sarah ran faster than she had ever run. Faster than any human should be able to run. Faster than any alien could track. She reached the building. The flames were high. The door was blocked. Sarah did not stop. She ran through the fire. It did not burn her. She did not know why. She did not care. Her daughter was inside. She found her daughter in a back room. The girl was crying. She was scared. Sarah picked her up. She ran back through the fire. The flames parted around her. She did not burn. She did not even feel the heat. The KRYLL saw her. They tried to shoot. She was too fast. Their sensors could not track her. Their weapons could not hit her. She was gone before they could pull the triggers. In a basement, a child named Leo Kim was hiding. He was 7 years old. He was alone. He was scared. He heard the KRYLL soldiers outside. They were looking for survivors. They were speaking in their alien language. Leo did not understand the words. But he understood the meaning. He could feel it in his mind. Their thoughts. Their plans. Their fears. He closed his eyes. He saw the colony. He saw the KRYLL patrol routes. Their communication frequencies. Their weapon weaknesses. He did not know how he knew. He just knew. He opened his eyes. He found a radio. He sent a message to the human defenders. The KRYLL are gathering at the north gate. Their weapons are weak on the left side. Hit them there. The human defenders followed his instructions. They broke the KRYLL attack. They saved hundreds of lives. The KRYLL generals were confused. They had never been outsmarted by a child. They had never been outsmarted by anyone. General Vex received the reports. He read them in disbelief. A soldier lifting a building. A mother outrunning sensors. A child outsmarting generals. These were not the weak humans he had studied. These were something else. Something new. Something waking up. What is happening to them? Vex asked. His officers had no answers. They had never seen anything like this. They had conquered 100 worlds. They had never faced enemies who could lift buildings, run faster than light, outthink their best minds. The humans are changing, one officer said. The war is waking something inside them. Something we did not know existed. Something we cannot control. Vex frowned. They are still weak. They are still primitive. They are still asleep. We will wake them up. We will crush them. We will win. But even as he spoke, he felt a doubt, a small crack in his certainty. The humans were not behaving like other species. They were not running. They were not hiding. They were not begging. They were fighting. And they were winning. Marcus Cole stood in the ruins of the colony. His hands were still glowing. His friends were safe. The KRYLL had retreated. He did not understand what had happened to him. He did not know why he could lift a building. He only knew that he had. And he knew that he would do it again. If he had to. If his friends needed him. If his world needed him. Sarah Chen held her daughter. The fire was out. The KRYLL were gone. She did not understand how she had run through flames. She did not know why she had not burned. She only knew that her daughter was safe. And she knew that she would do it again. If she had to. If her child needed her. If her family needed her. Leo Kim sat in the basement. The radio was quiet. The KRYLL were gone. He did not understand how he had known their plans. He did not know why he could read their minds. He only knew that he had saved lives. And he knew that he would do it again. If he had to. If his people needed him. If humanity needed him. The KRYLL had attacked a human colony. They had expected the humans to run. Instead, the humans fought. Not with weapons. With something deeper. Something the KRYLL had never seen. Something that should not exist. Something waking up. The humans were changing. They were becoming something new. Something powerful. Something terrifying. And the KRYLL, the great and powerful KRYLL, had no idea what they had unleashed. They had wanted to conquer a sleeping species. Instead, they had woken a nightmare. And the nightmare was just beginning. The war spread like fire. The KRYLL attacked more colonies. They thought they would crush the humans quickly. They thought the humans would break. They were wrong. Each attack made the humans stronger, faster, smarter. Each battle unlocked new abilities. Abilities that the KRYLL had never seen. Abilities that should not exist. On the colony of New Hope, a soldier named Elena discovered telepathy. She was pinned down by KRYLL fire. She could hear her comrades screaming. She could feel their fear, their pain, their dying thoughts. She reached out with her mind. She touched their minds. She calmed them. She coordinated them. She led them to safety without speaking a word. The KRYLL were confused. They did not understand how the humans were communicating. They did not understand how the humans kept surviving. On the colony of Far Reach, a farmer named Thomas discovered telekinesis. The KRYLL had surrounded his village. They were about to burn it. Thomas raised his hand. The KRYLL weapons flew out of their hands. The KRYLL soldiers flew into the air. Thomas did not know how he was doing it. He did not know why. He only knew that he could. He only knew that he would. He saved his village. He saved his family. He saved his friends. On the colony of Deep Water, a child named Zara discovered precognition. She was 7 years old. She saw the future. Not all of it. Flashes. Images. Feelings. She saw the KRYLL attack before it happened. She warned the defenders. They were ready. They survived. The KRWL were confused. They did not understand how the humans knew their plans. They did not understand how the humans kept winning. General Vex received the reports. He read them in silence. His face was pale. His hands were shaking. He had conquered 100 worlds. He had never seen anything like this. The humans were changing, evolving, becoming something new, something powerful, something terrifying. They are developing abilities, one officer said. Telepathy, telekinesis, precognition, abilities we have never seen, abilities that should not exist. Vex frowned. How is this possible? Humans are primitive, weak, ordinary. How can they develop such powers? The officer shook his head. We do not know. But it is happening. Every attack makes them stronger. Every battle unlocks new abilities. We are not conquering them. We are awakening them. Vex tried to stop the war. He sent messages to Earth. He offered peace. He offered surrender. The humans refused. They had been asleep for too long. Now they were awake. And they were angry. Why will they not stop? Vex asked. Dr. Maya Chen answered. She had become the voice of humanity. She had studied human potential for years. She knew what was happening. She had predicted it. She had feared it. Now she was living it. You wanted to conquer us, Maya said. You thought we were weak. You thought we were easy prey. You were wrong. We were just sleeping. Now we are awake. And we will not go back to sleep. Not ever. Not for anyone. Vex did not understand. He had never met a species like this. A species that grew stronger with every attack. That developed new abilities when threatened. That became more dangerous when hurt. What do you want? Vex asked. What will make you stop? Maya's voice was cold. We want you to leave. Leave our worlds. Leave our colonies. Leave our people alone. We did not ask for this war. You started it. You can end it. Leave. And never come back. Vex wanted to leave. He wanted to end the war. But he could not. The KRWL Council would not allow it. They had never lost a war. They would not lose this one. They ordered more attacks. More colonies. More destruction. The KRWL attacked again. And again. And again. Each attack made the humans stronger. Faster. Smarter. The humans developed new abilities every day. Telepathy. Telekinesis. Precognition. Abilities that the aliens had never seen. Abilities that should not exist. A soldier named Marcus, who had once lifted a building, now lifted ships. He threw KRYLL cruisers into the sun. He did not know how. He did not know why. He only knew that he could. He only knew that he would. A mother named Sarah, who had once outrun sensors, now outran light. She moved so fast that the KRYLL could not see her. She saved hundreds of lives. She became a legend. A child named Leo, who had once outsmarted generals, now outsmarted empires. He saw the KRYLL plans before they made them. He predicted their attacks. He thwarted their strategies. He was 7 years old. The KRYLL were losing. They had never lost. They did not know how to lose. Their generals were confused. Their soldiers were terrified. Their empire was crumbling. Vex stood on the bridge of his flagship. He watched the reports. The humans were winning. They were not just winning. They were evolving. They were becoming something new. Something powerful. Something the galaxy had never seen. We cannot win, Vex said. Every attack makes them stronger. Every battle unlocks new abilities. We are not fighting an enemy. We are feeding a fire. And the fire is growing. It will consume us. His officers were silent. They knew he was right. They had seen the humans lift ships. Outrun light. Outsmart empires. They had seen abilities that should not exist. They had seen the future. And the future was human. Vex sent one last message to Earth. We surrender. We will leave your worlds. We will leave your colonies. We will leave your people alone. Please, make it stop. Maya's voice was calm. We accept your surrender. But we will not stop. Not because we want war. Because we cannot go back. We have awakened. We have evolved. We are not the same species you attacked. We are something new. Something powerful. Something that will never sleep again. The war ended. The KRYLL left. The humans were free. But they were not the same. They had changed. They had grown. They had awakened. They had telepathy, telekinesis, precognition, abilities that the aliens had never seen, abilities that should not exist, abilities that were now human, The galaxy watched in awe and fear. The humans had been asleep for millennia. Now they were awake. And they would never go back to sleep. Not ever. Not for anyone. The war had activated their potential. And that potential was limitless. The KRYLL had created their own nightmare. And now the nightmare was awake. And it was human. The KRYLL realized their mistake too late. At first it was only a whisper of doubt, a shadow of fear. Then it became a storm. They had awakened something they could not control. Human potential had been sleeping beneath centuries of ordinary life, hidden and silent, waiting for a reason to rise. The KRYLL had given it that reason. They attacked. They burned cities. They shattered colonies. They believed humanity would break. Instead, humanity woke up. General Vex stood on the bridge of his flagship, staring at endless reports of defeat. Humans were everywhere. Not only on Earth, but across every colony, station, and forgotten outpost. They were fighting. They were winning. Worse than that, they were changing. One human soldier lifted a KRYLL cruiser with his bare hands and hurled it into the sun. A mother ran faster than light itself, rescuing prisoners before alarms could sound. A child saw every KRYLL strategy before it happened and warned entire worlds in advance. Surprise no longer existed. Escape no longer existed. Victory no longer existed. We cannot win, Vex said quietly. They do not need ships. They are ships. They do not need weapons. They are weapons. They have become something beyond war. Silence filled the bridge. The KRYLL had never lost before. They did not know how to face defeat. At last, Vex sent a message to Earth. We surrender. We will leave your worlds. We will leave your people alone. Please, make it stop. The answer came within minutes. Dr. Maya Chen appeared on the screen, calm and steady. We accept your surrender. We will not enslave you. We will not destroy you. We only wanted you to stop. You have stopped. That is enough. Vex expected celebration, revenge, demands. Instead, the war simply ended. Human fleets stood down. Human soldiers vanished from battlefields. Weapons fell silent. But humanity had changed forever. Vex watched from afar as humans used their new power not for conquest, but for rebuilding. The soldier who once threw warships into stars now lifted shattered towers so survivors could escape. The mother who outran light raced ahead of disasters and saved entire cities before tragedy struck. The child who predicted battles turned his gift toward medicine, finding cures before diseases could spread. The KRYLL were confused. They had never seen power used this way. At last, Vex asked the question that haunted him. Why are you helping us? We tried to destroy you. Maya's voice softened. Because we are not like you. We do not fight for glory or conquest. We fight to survive. And when survival is secured, we stop fighting. We do not need your suffering. We only needed the war to end. Vex could not understand. To the KRYLL, power existed to dominate, to rule, to crush enemies. They had never imagined that the greatest strength was the ability to set power aside. Years later, Maya stood before the Galactic Council. Representatives of every great empire watched in silence. KRYLL, Voth, Xylos, Xanan. They had come to understand the species they once dismissed. You thought we were weak, Maya said. We were only sleeping. Now we are awake. The chamber remained silent. A Voth elder finally spoke. You now possess more power than any civilization in history. You could rule the galaxy. What will you do? Maya smiled, tired but certain. We will live. We will learn. We will explore. We will not rule. We will not conquer. We will simply be human. Many did not understand her answer. But they remembered it. The galaxy learned that the most dangerous thing you can do to humans is threaten them, because threat awakens potential. And once awakened, potential cannot be stopped. It can only be guided. Humanity chose to guide it toward peace. The KRYLL had created their own nightmare. Yet that nightmare became something greater, a dream of growth, healing, and understanding. In the end, humanity did not win because they were stronger. They won because they were wiser. They chose creation over destruction, mercy over revenge, hope over fear. And the mighty KRYLL, once feared by all, could only watch and learn. The war was over. The KRYLL were defeated, and the galaxy could hardly believe it. For ages they had been unstoppable, conquerors of 1,000 worlds, undefeated in every campaign. Entire civilizations had fallen before them. Yet now they had been broken by a species everyone once considered insignificant. Humanity. But the humans who ended the war were no longer the same humans who began it. They had changed in ways no one thought possible. Their machines had advanced, yes, but that was the least of it. Their bodies had adapted. Their minds had expanded. Their hidden potential had awakened under pressure. In only months, they had achieved what evolution was supposed to take millions of years to accomplish. Dr. Maya Chen stood before the Galactic Council, where delegates from every major empire had gathered. The chamber was silent with awe and fear. The Vorth watched with cold logic, the Xylos with hungry curiosity, the Xanan with unease, and the KRYLL with wounded pride. All of them had seen the reports. Humans lifting warships with their hands. Humans moving faster than light. Humans seeing attacks before they happened. Humans surviving what should have killed them. Maya looked tired. Her lab coat was stained, her hair untidy, her eyes shadowed by sleepless nights. But when she spoke, her voice carried through the hall like thunder. "You wanted to conquer us," she said. "Instead, you woke us up." No one moved. "You thought we were weak. You were wrong. We were only sleeping. Now we are awake. And we will never go back to sleep." The chamber remained silent. They did not know how to answer such a thing. At last, General Vex of the KRYLL rose to speak. Once feared across the stars, he now looked like a man carrying the weight of defeat. "How?" he demanded. "How did you evolve so fast? How did you gain these impossible powers?" Maya smiled faintly. "We did not gain them," she said. "We discovered them. They were always inside us, dormant, waiting. You threatened our survival, and survival is the oldest command written into human nature. When cornered, we adapt. When broken, we rebuild. When challenged, we become what we must become." The words unsettled every species present. They had believed evolution was slow and blind. Humanity had turned it into a weapon of necessity. Then the elder Xylo's representative, Seri, leaned forward. "What are you now?" Maya lifted her hands. A soft blue glow shimmered across her skin. "We are still human," she answered. "But awake. Aware. Expanded. We can move matter with thought. We can sense minds. Some of us can glimpse futures. We are not gods. We are not monsters. We are simply humans who have opened doors we did not know existed." The council could not understand, but they understood enough to be afraid. Then the Wren of the Vorth asked the question no one else dared to speak. "What will you do now? You possess more power than any civilization in history. You could rule the galaxy. You could conquer us all." Maya shook her head. "We will not rule. We will not conquer. We will not destroy. We will live. We will learn. We will explore. We will heal. Power does not define us. Choice does." That answer confused them more than any display of strength. The war ended not with chains, but with mercy. Human fleets withdrew. Borders reopened. Prisoners were returned home. The wounded of all species were treated in human hospitals. Worlds ruined by the conflict were rebuilt by hands that once shattered fleets. A soldier who had thrown a cruiser into the sun now raised collapsed cities from the rubble. A mother who once outran light now carried medicine across starving planets. A child who had predicted battles now predicted storms, plagues, and disasters before they could begin. Humanity used its awakening not for vengeance, but for creation. Far from the halls of power, life on Earth continued. In a small town, in a small garden, a family laughed together beneath the afternoon sun. Sarah, who once crossed stars in seconds, now raced slowly beside her children through the grass. Marcus, who once lifted warships, now lifted his daughter onto his shoulders as she laughed. Young Leo, who once saw battlefields before they formed, now watched butterflies and guessed where they would land. No crowds cheered them. No monuments marked their deeds. They did not need glory. They had peace. From a nearby hill, Maya Chen watched them with quiet satisfaction. Then she turned toward the stars. Somewhere beyond them, the KRYLL were rebuilding their shattered empire. The Vorth were rewriting their equations. The Xylos were rethinking everything they knew about life. The galaxy had changed forever. Not because humanity was strongest. Because humanity had power, and chose wisdom. The KRYLL had tried to conquer a sleeping species. Instead, they awakened something unstoppable. Yet the nightmare they feared became a dream. A dream of growth. A dream of understanding. A dream of peace. A human dream. And now that humanity was awake, it would never sleep again. It was only just beginning.